Hello and welcome on the program. This is Political Square on Social Plus Africa TV, and I am your host as always, Eswati. On this program, we talk about the political and social issues promoting or bothering Nigerians. Now, for the past few years, Nigerians' situation can be described as pathetic. Well, this only can be applicable to a majority of Nigerians, as there are those who still are living on the bed of roses. Now, for this majority, they are suffering insecurity, poverty, hunger, and a lot of things. And this brings to our mind, how can this problem be solved? Now, this has made a lot of Nigerians, especially the youth, to agitate for a change in leadership and for a standard of livelihood. It is on this that we have decided to bring on a vice presidential aspirant of the Young Progressive Party, YPP. Thank God, the election is just around the corner. A lot of politicians, and especially those who are vying for the presidency, are making a lot of promises. But how do we know who is the credible one? Well, you stay with me on this program, and very shortly I'll introduce this person to you, and you hear what they have for this country. Thank you. Welcome again. I am here with the vice presidential candidate of the Young Progressive Party, YPP, Dr. Enyinna Kasarachi. He is the CEO of Fund Vine Holdings Limited, a stockbroking and of an asset management company. He also owns an NGO, the Kasarachi Foundation, and I believe that this NGO is saddled with the responsibility of taking care of the less privileged around Nigeria and also, I believe, around the world. It's good to have you on the program, sir.
Good evening. Nice having you around.
Oh, thank you so much. That's a pleasure. Sir, considering your achievement as a doctor in business management, what is your opinion, or let me just say, what's your view about the 2023 budget presented by the President Muhammadu Buhari?
The budget is worrisome.
Okay.
In the sense that it's not being real. How can we borrow about 8-point-something trillion to refinance the budget, and almost everything is on expenditure, servicing people in the governance and all the rest. It's so high, so we don't even have a future budget that talks about development and to be able to do new projects, and we are just servicing debt and taking care of the big people in the House of Assembly and the people in the presidency. For me, a country that wants to grow, we could have found a way to have a budget that gives hope to Nigerians. Nigerians in their need of a better leadership. We need a budget that will drive the economy and restore hope. A budget that will spend about 126 billion to do internet and newspaper. Is a good budget in this modern time that people are accessible to information on online? While we're spending so much money and we're saying about corruption, that's for me, that's not a good budget. So we need to look at it very well, and we are still reviewing it. And I believe it's a proposal budget, and they should be able to, the House of Assembly, they should review more of that budget and on it. And we ourselves are also reviewing it. And at the end of the day, we have about 20.1 trillion, and we spent about how many trillion to borrow money, and we don't even have money. We use 90% to service debt.
Okay.
So how much remain for us to do capital projects? And this is a developing country that need a lot of projects and things need to go so that our youth can be employed. We need to create an environment for things to work. So, and I think the priorities of the budget are not truly real to me. It's not real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand something. There's something I picked. Your foundation, that's the Kasarachi Foundation, commemorated with the 62nd independence celebration of Nigeria. And I understand that you give out some. You give out some things, and you at that event you said something. Yes, you said that you understand the level of poverty and you know what the masses are going through in the country, and you said that is faulted on bad leadership. Given that,
let me tell you.
Okay.
If you check Nigeria index today, I think we're about 120 poorest country in the world. That's not a good record.
Sure.
And for me, Kasarachi Foundation is a foundation to help the needy and the poor. I set up the foundation about 5 years ago, and I do this not only during the independence.
Yes.
I do this weekly, monthly.
Wow.
And I go out by myself to reach out to the needy and the poor in my community, in my village, at Kanu, across all the country, not anywhere, across all the country. The level of poverty in this country today is alarming.
Sure.
Is alarming. And I believe the cause of where we are here today is leadership. Because they say everything rises and falls by the head. Everything rises and falls by the leadership. I know the leadership presently now could not be the one that caused the problem, because this problem has been existing before he is on board. Yes, this problem has been existing, but what have we done to improve the life of a common Nigerians, common people, deprived people? Today, we have students being at home for past 8 months. Just of recent, yesterday they said they call off the strike for past 8 months.
Yeah, 8 months.
That's a lot to cause a lot of crime. Our daughters, our children are doing prostitutes. Are you not concerned? A society we are producing the kind of things we want to produce. We should be concerned about it.
Sure.
We should be concerned about it. So what we're bringing is something new. We're not to criticize anybody. Like I said, if you wake up 1960 and wake up today, there's nothing much that's changed. Yeah, I can tell you the same issue about power. People promise 60% of Nigeria doesn't have access to power, electricity today. 60% doesn't have access. They don't see light. We are not talking about the people who see light. We are producing today maybe about 3,000 to 4,000 megawatts. A country of 200 and something million, running 3,000-4,000 megawatts, spending over more than $25 billion. This is alarming. It's only in this part of the world you can hear this kind of story. It's alarming. APC, PDP spend over more than $12-something billion. APC spent about $6-something billion. So in total, about $20-something billion. And we're still running. Do you know what is $20-something billion? If you multiply it, let's assume you multiply it with 400 naira exchange rate today. Do you know how much it is?
Yeah,
and still yet we don't have electricity. In this office, I run generator. I spend over more than 20,000-30,000 naira to put diesel every day. What kind of business am I going to do and make profit? So there's no way economy can do better. A small-scale business can be able to drive and employ, because an average small-scale business can employ 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, sure.
How would they be able to do business and pay their staff and employ people? So A country that wants to develop must get it right. We must fix the electricity.
Yeah.
That is key to development. We must fix electricity. How do we fix electricity? It's not going to be normal Kanjidan and every other place. Yeah, the world is moving. There's a lot of alternative energy, solar power, all kinds of energy we can drive. So the government needs to liberalize the electricity sector, that where players can come in and develop a model thing that people are using. In China, they are using solar to power a lot of industry. I've been in somewhere in South Africa, in Cape Town. Everything running the hotel is using by wind, wind electricity, and they are running it, and it's working. So this is not a rocket science that we cannot bring those technology here. We cannot. We have the sun to generate power for us to be able to run. So we need to fine-tune something that work immediately to salvage the situation we are now. We can't go and pass a budget. We want to spend how many billions of dollars again to try to do the same thing we are trying to do always. We're not saying we should abandon that, but what we are saying that we can bring something new. To make things work faster. Within maybe 2 years or in our governance, people can see that power have improved significantly. If you stay in this Abuja in the night, everywhere is dark.
Sure.
Even to power the roads. How can you be in a country everywhere is dark? Definitely you're going to see criminals. People take advantage where there's darkness. Nobody will be a criminal on the daylight. So criminality drive on the darkness.
Yeah, sure.
So we need to light up the country. That's number one we are going to bring on the table, because nobody wants to come and invest money where things are not working, where you are going to be kidnapped, where you cannot travel from Abuja to Kano or Kaduna, where you cannot go to Aba or go to Port Harcourt on the road. We need to find a way to solve this problem. We can't continue. This insecurity is not Buhari that caused it. I'm not blaming Buhari, because if you look at it, the insecurity were Jonathan. But this present government campaign, seriously, they are going to solve the problem. That's why Nigerians are worried.
Yes.
They campaign seriously. If you remember when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, they campaigned seriously about it. They campaigned. I was also the part of people who were believing that this government would deliver. Unfortunately, we see more things. Now, election is coming up. The news about kidnapping and everything, last 1 month is like it's explaining that who are the kidnappers? Who are the people who are sponsoring them? Last time they said the government said they have the list of people. Why didn't they publish it? Why didn't they take arrest and take a decisive decision? So we can't continue to be doing the same thing and be expecting another different result. That's why most times people can accuse the government that they are part of the problem. Because if you said you have the list, whether it's a security or whatever, publish their names.
Sure.
Let's know who they are. Where are they from? A country that doesn't have data? So everything in here is just like anybody can do anything and get away.
Sure.
Anybody can do anything and get away. So we can't continue to pretend that because our own future is at stake, our children's future is at stake. Nobody going to do any business, or nobody is going to take us serious if the security problem is not solved. We must solve it at a minimal level where people can have confidence that you can do business, you can move from here to Kaduna without being afraid of somebody kidnapping you or something happen along the road. So when things like this start, we now knew that the problem are very less. There's no part of the world where there's no criminality.
Sure.
But if you check it today, after Afghanistan's and is it one other country? Nigeria is the number 3rd terrorist state, most deadly state in the world. Why should we be identified with such? We have a lot of good Nigerians who are doing well. Why should we be identified? Today you can't travel. Anywhere you put your passport today, people perceive you as a threat. So we need to do more better in those issues, and any government, whether it's YPP on board, any government that think he love this country need to tackle these issues seriously.
Yes.
Because those are fundamental issues that bring prosperity,
Sure.
that bring changes with desire. Yeah.
There can only be development with security.
With security, yeah.
Yes. Thanks for that. Okay, now your position about the rift between the PDP and the APC. The presidential election is coming very soon, as in 2023.
Why is the media only focusing on PDP and APC? Is there no other party in Nigeria? We have 18 political parties. I happen to be in YPP. But why is the concentration PDP, APC, or Labour Party? Why is it? It's the media.
Yes.
It's media happy. So is that that you people who is also in media start talking about other parties?
What makes you think now that your party is credible enough to, because what Nigerians are interested right now in is credibility, not party. So what makes you feel that your party is credible enough and your party can deliver in 2023?
You see, 2023 is a different ball game.
Yes.
Let me tell you, in 2019, in the last election, only 23 million Nigerians voted, and then we have about 85 million. Today we have about 95 or 200 million Nigerians that has the power to vote. Let's assume that the 70 million that didn't vote, 50% of them are voting now. What would that be figure? That's 50 million.
Yes.
So it's going to be total game, because people are aware. The awareness is there today. People, there's nobody in Nigeria today who is 18 above who doesn't know what is going on. And I believe that Nigeria will do the right thing. The right thing they are going to do is to vote somebody they believe on, that have pedigree, that has what it takes to drive the leadership, to have what it takes to turn around the leadership of this country, because this country needs total overhaul.
Yeah.
It needs total overhaul, resetting Nigeria to a better country, in the sense that the leadership, because people always look at the leadership, it's very, very important. Leadership is very, very important, because like I said earlier, everything rises and falls by the leader. If I'm not managing this organization in the last 18 years, I don't think I'll be here. And I don't think anybody will be serving here or working, because I've shown leadership. Maybe in a few years' time now, I will retire, some other person will take over. When we started this company, it was like only 2 people. Today we have over more than 102 people. We're still growing. So, but that is somebody's profiling leadership, solving problem. We didn't start this organization because we have money. It's the same thing. If anybody who wants to be a Nigeria president have to be a CEO. A CEO, like, you need to be in charge of Nigeria, be a subject. So you need to know the problem of Nigeria to be able to solve it. Because some of us believe that did our leaders really know what is the problem? Did they really know? Did they know the problem? Because you can't solve a problem you don't understand. You can't. You walk in here, even if I give you this seat to sit down as CEO, if I don't have a brief understanding about this problem, we won't be able to solve it. So we can't be doing the same thing we are doing in last 23 years of this Fourth Republic, and we still want to do the same thing again. We can't. We are getting old every day, complaining. Things are hard. You can't. You cannot. So I just pray that Nigerians will do the right thing in 2023. Let's the media help us to make sure that people come out to vote. The power they have is that they have PVC. Let them. That's the revolution they are going to do. We have what we call revolution by ballot paper. That PVC is their right, is their conscience. Anybody who is telling you is going to solve problem, ask him what has he done in last 10, 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. That's very thoughtful. Okay, Nigerian is known as was because just recently I heard some Ghanaians saying that we are now super chickens, what they call our super eagles, because for them we are no more the giants of Africa. Now a lot of Nigerians really want to be. Being a giant of Africa is not just a name, but I believe that there was something that we did to earn that name. So do you think that there's hope for Nigeria to be a self-sovereign state again and to be called the giants of Africa?
See, I'm very optimistic about this country. This is land of opportunity. No matter the diverse and where we come from, every part of this country has a potential. Whether in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, there's potential everywhere. And I believe once we get the leadership right, because you see, there's a lot of agitation, IPOP, Boko Haram, Odua, or whatever name you may call it, is caused by bad leadership. So once we get this country and unite this country was not like this even before the inception of this Fourth Republic. This country was not like this. I'm not too young to know how this country has been in the last 30 years. I'm not too young to know about it. I'm not too young to know about it. In the last 30 years, I'll be flowing up this country as a young person. So I believe that we can, Nelson Mandela says something about Nigeria. He said, until Nigeria take full responsibility, the world will never respect Africa. We need to rise up. Nigeria need to rise up. Rising up, taking responsibility, bringing back the glory we used to have before. If you look at it very well, our forefathers like Michael Okpara, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Aminu Kanu, all the rest of them, Awolowo, they were patriots of this country. Because the interest was not to be so rich. They were building a nation. So the interest was to build a nation where people can live and have a better living. If not, they would have owned the whole land in Abuja today. They would have owned the whole land in their villages and community today. But the interest was to develop the country, either in education, in agriculture. But all of a sudden, immediately we got involved into finding a crude oil. We stuck our brain to one place. So, because everybody's stealing from the oil. So we refuse to develop all other sectors of this country. There's gold, there's all kinds of things in this country. We refuse to develop it, only making the oil. The world have moved beyond oil today. If you go to UK anywhere today, they're using electricity to power their vehicle and all that thing. Yeah. And according to some prediction, maybe in 2030, we may not have need to use fuel to run our vehicles. So what are we doing as a country? Are we going to continue to dwell? What are we doing? All the resources we have earned from oil, what have we used it to develop? Or are we still need to stack it in Dubai? Or to develop other people, country? Have we used it to better our environment and make our education to work or to build industry? We have not done such. So I believe the leadership of Ado Ibrahim, which I'm his VP, what is bringing on the table, because I'm following him because I believe he has something to offer. He's my friend, and I've had a lot of things to do with him on energy and security, and I know he's capable to fix a lot of things. The economy will, once these major two things are fixed, believe me, the economy will back, the country will be back.
All right. So what's your plan for the youth in Nigeria? Because the youth are the future of the country.
Those are my the youth are my constituency.
Okay.
Why are they my constituency? I said it. We can't continue running a country of 50 or 60% young generation with old people. I'm not saying the others cannot sit down and be an advisor. No. Me, at a certain level, my son will take over from me. Definitely. So every responsible father wants his children to take over from them. Unless the irresponsible father, who are selfish, who wants to work till when they die. Yeah, that's only people who wants to sit down in the power till 90, 80, 100 years. But every responsible father, at a certain level, wants the children to take over. So this is useful, inclusive government. A government that includes the youth as a priority. The youth are being the one you are going to see in the port, between 20 to 30 years old. The people that are running government cannot be more than 40, 50 years old. If we can't have people, anybody beyond that age, for me, is a problem. Because the thinking are totally different. Young people who are doing well, who have built company that without the help of government, they're building the company that will run a unicorn company. This is a company that runs in billions of dollars. Flutterwave, Paystack, Unify, Interswitch. These are young men. They are less than 50 years old, they're 30s. So imagine when those kind of young people, you give them governance to run it. You know, let's open up the economy. Get the young people, get a policy that work. Strengthen our institutions, the police, the judiciary, or whatever. Strengthen them. To manage the affairs of the country, you need all those arms. Once they are working, if you charge somebody to court now to blah, 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 you spend 5-10 years there. If you go to police today, because the police are not being taken care well, their welfare are not being taken care. And we need more young people to enjoy police, because you must make things attractive for people to work and use their mind to work. Once you don't make things attractive, nobody's gonna do a job of 50,000 naira for 1 month when the inflation is 20%. Because your amount that you can't even feed yourself at the end of 50,000 naira job. So how much are they paying police today? We need to review it. Who are the police people? If we need to retrain them, we need to retrain them. If we need to ask some to go so that we can have a better people, we ask them to go. Those are things we are going to bring on the table. So we're going to have more manpower. We increase manpower. Because if you check the total security today we have in the country is less than 150,000. So how would 150,000 people mount a security of 200 and something million people? So, but you ask yourself, people, are they attracted to work in police, in army today? The answer is no.
Yes.
Is no. We must make sure we make those agencies attractive and curb corruption by having the right people in the right place. Because corruption have also
eaten deep,
whether it's in judiciary, in police, anywhere today in Nigeria. Once you have money. So our value system are going down. A country, their value system are going down. Let me tell you, they are moving to the grave. That's where we are leading. That's why this country is going to. The value system are going down every day. So we need to rekindle a better hope, a leadership that Nigerians can believe on. Nigerians are most enterprising and hardworking people. And I believe with any leadership inspiring them, they will do more better. And things are going to be more better.
Amen. Thank you so much for your time, sir. This session has been very engaging and informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's it on Political Square. But before I round off, I want to say something. Chinua Achebe once said that the problem with Nigeria is Nigeria. In other words, Nigerians are the problem and Nigerians are the solution. So what do you hope to be? Are you going to be the problem or the solution? You can think about that. And that's it today on this program. We'll meet again next time.